I no longer do what I was gonna do, but you're no good for me. That's why me know send me if it could flee. Me have to take away me say. Me have to take away me say. Me have to hide like a thief in the night. Me have to get out of sight. Me have to take away myself. Have to take away myself. I have to utilize thy wings. Surely I cleave right.
Greetings, kings and queens. Welcome to another Real Stuff podcast. I am Franco, and I'll be linking up with Flavius in a few minutes. Today, our special guest is Rodney, a drum maker from the Garifuna Nation in Belize. He'll be joining us at 11:15 our time, 9:15 his time there in Belize. And of course, really current news in Jamaica, the Caribbean, and around the world. And our host is none other than Mr. Teddy Laidley. So, stick and stay with us. Don't go nowhere. The music you hear in the background is the Fina with Take Away Myself.
Take away myself. Take away myself. I have to utilize thy wings. Surely I a clean pair of heels. I say, been there, done that, don't need it again, yeah. I'm not a master, guess who won't play your game, yeah. To all you move, you off me way to the core. Sayonara, the hot girl gone through the door. Take away ourselves. Ah, yeah, 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 yeah. Say no goodbye, girl, let me take me ourselves. Take me ourselves. No goodbye, girl, let me take me
Hi, this is Pam Hall, and I'm inviting you to hang out with Flavius and Franco on the Real Stuff podcast. They're such great company.
Yes. We got Flavius with us this morning. Top of the morning, Flavius. Top of the morning.
Good morning, Franco. Good morning, listeners, viewers. Welcome to another week of the Real Stuff podcast.
Welcome to Daylight Saving Time too as well.
Yeah, we shy away from it some long time ago. It was not serving us well.
True.
It was too dark in the morning when the kids had to go to school.
Yeah.
The day came early, the time came too early and it was very dark.
Only thing it's good for in the evening.
Oh yes. But we already have good evening, so
All
that's
right.
why we go on the side not to, keep it going.
So what we have this morning for did you know? Because we have a link up this morning with Rodney. Rodney,
Yes.
who was a Jamaica, the Garifuna Nation in Belize. Gonna, link him up at 9:15 his time. See, different time zones.
Yeah, man. Well, this morning we are going to be looking at. We are staying with high achieving women in the Caribbean. But today we have some news out of the press concerning our women in the area of sport officiating and sports officials.
Okay.
Today we will continue with high achieving women in the Caribbean. We will look at sport officials. This is a news item by looptt.com. 3 women are among the 5 officials from Trinidad and Tobago to be appointed to the FIFA International List of Referees for 2021. Referees Crystal Sobers and Cecile Hines and assistant referees Evelyn Carissa Douglas Jacob join male counterparts Ainsley Rochard and Caleb Wales in the list of individuals eligible to officiate in international matches and tournaments in 2021. The increase in the number of female officials can be attributed to FIFA's gender-neutral policy in nominated officials. In October 2020, FIFA in circular number 1736 stated, and I quote, "All match official roles are now gender neutral. Both men and women can be nominated for each role since separate roles for women no longer exist." End quote. Sobers, who has been a FIFA referee since 2015, finished in the runner-up position in a CONCACAF Women's Referee of the Year poll in 2019. Rockard is the longest-serving FIFA official in the group, started in 2008. Wales and Hines were first on the FIFA panel in 2013, while Douglas Jacob was started at the highest level in 2017. FIFA's Referees Committee, which implements and interprets the laws of the game, selected the officials for 2021. It appoints the referees and assistant referees for matches in competitions organized by FIFA. The chairman of the Referees Committee is Italian Pierluigi Collina, who refereed the 2002 World Cup final in South Korea. And that is your Did You Know for today. Today we will continue with high achieving women in the Caribbean. We will look at sport officials. This is a news item by looptt.com. 3
Walking on sand and holding your hand, feel like a tourist in my own homeland, in my own homeland, enjoying the bright, the warm sunlight. Oh my God, what a beautiful sight in my own homeland. This place is so nice, wanna do everything twice. Yes, I feel as if I'm in a paradise. No matter the season, you've got every reason. This place is another little heaven. East or west, I couldn't care less. Ooh, this place, it is definitely best.
Did You Know is brought to you courtesy of Slowly Jamaica, uniquely Caribbean. So in case you didn't know, Now you know. Get ready for Rodney, the Jamaica from the Garifuna Nation in Belize, coming up next.
In my own homeland, give yourself a treat, a few days or a week, and you will see just what I mean. Just take my advice, so everyone is nice. You feel like royalty, my friend.
Yes, indeed. We got with us this morning Rodney, a gentleman from Belize, and he's from the Garifuna Nation, and he's a Jamaica. Top of the morning, Rodney. How you doing?
Good morning, sir. I'm doing fine. Born in Jamaica.
Morning, Rodney.
Glad to have you with us this morning. Should have you from last week, but you know we keep mixing up our I would say we keep missing each other telephone calls. So now that we have connected, tell us about your drums, because we were at the conference the other day, and Egbert mentioned that you should let the brothers and sisters in the Caribbean know about your Jamaican, and especially out of Jamaica. So tell us about.
So basically, like how I said, my name is Rob Davila. I'm the youngest Garifuna youth leader in Toledo, Belize. Jamaican is something that brings peace and happiness to my soul, right? And teaching the drums is something off earth, you know. So building the drums and teaching, especially the segunda. The bigger drum is a segunda. Segunda is a mother drum that back in my ancestors' days were used to send message over the village.
Okay.
It can be party. It can be meetings. It can be death. It can be emergency. That mother drum plays different beat rhythms, so that the villagers know exactly where time and where place gonna have this gathering.
Okay. And it make different sounds?
Right. And it make different sounds.
Okay, good.
Right.
Fair enough.
And then the primera, that is the little one that you post up beside my picture.
Yeah, your pictures are up there flashing.
All right. The primera is the father drum. Is the drum that follows the bigger drum.
Okay.
Yeah. But the only difference with that, every time you play, it have a different sound. It's just like meeting someone in you. You have a different sound to him. So the father drum give more style to the bigger drum.
Okay. So that one nice up the place then.
Yes,
you have one nearby you can give us some sound.
Yeah, I have one. I have one right here. All right.
Wow.
That's so nice.
Yeah, man. So let me ask you something, right? Because in the pictures that you send us, there's two things there look like a shaker. Is that sticks that beat the drums, or just a shaker itself?
No. That is in our language that is sisira, but in English is maracas. So the shakers is addition to fill in
It's like percussions.
the
Then, as you would
replay.
say, percussions.
The replay of the drums, the two drums.
Okay.
Right. So the shakers take the drum beat 2 miles away.
Whoa.
Right. Right. So the shakers is the one that give the drum that expandment to reach 2 miles away from your location you're playing.
Damn, that's a good distance, man. For it to reach. So let me ask you, on a given day, how you build a drum? Because what are the type? I seen once where they have like a tree trunk, and they would saw out in the middle and do the filling, whatever they want to do. But I don't know if that's the right thing. You tell us. How long it take to make a drum? Yeah.
Well, traditionally it takes a week to build a drum. Traditionally.
Okay.
Right, and back then they used to break the log in two, and then scrape out the middle and then glue it back.
Okay.
Right, that is traditionally. But today, in my era, the chainsaw do the trick, so I can build 8 to 9 drums in one day.
Whoa.
Shell.
You know what you're going to have to do for us, Rodney? You're going to have to send us a video with a little demonstration. You don't have to video the whole thing so that, but just send us a video with some briefings of how it has been done so that we can post it up and show. We're going to bring you back again, This is just a preview because we're going to bring you back. So we want you to put that video together so when you come forward, when I say back, when you come forward, you can demonstrate, outline to us on the video what is happening. You understand?
All right,
so,
but me continuing with making it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's what.
After you dig out the tree. Yeah. What happens next?
After I carve out the middle, right? Then I carve out outside of the shell.
Okay.
Right, and I put that diagonal shape at the top, right, and then sand down 2 times.
Okay.
Right, after sand down, then we varnish it. We put 3 coats of varnish, right, and then we put we add the skin, the deer skin.
What kind of skin you use? What kind of skin? Deer? Reindeer?
Deer skin. Reindeer.
So what if you can't find a deer? Is there any substitute?
We use sheep or goat.
Oh, sheep and goat skin. Okay.
Yeah.
So
in Jamaica, the goat is the preferred medium.
This is what I want to know, right? No, he was saying in Jamaica that the goat skin is the preferred medium that they would, use regularly, the goat skin. But you guys...
the goat skin is more... Yes, the goat skin is more second in Belize is second to deer skin because it gives you it gives you 25 to 30 lifespan.
Oh, wow.
Right, the sheep skin is just a fashion drum that you will not play, but keep at home or promote something that you're gonna have in a shell.
Oh, like if you want to give me a drum as a souvenir drum that I'm not gonna play, it can be a sheep skin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. When it comes to you're gonna play on the drum, either goat or the sheep skin. Or the deer skin. The deer skin. Yeah.
So each you're gonna put 1 layer skin, right? 1 skin layer.
Yeah.
Okay. So the difference between the goat skin and the sheep skin, as you say, is in terms of the lifespan. Which one lasts longer?
Yeah.
Okay. What about the sound? The sound is not different as well?
The sound is more thinner. Right? The deer skin, the sheep skin is more filtered. than the goat and the deer skin.
Oh yeah, that coming like music, like you know we have MP3 and we have wave. So the more
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you
yeah.
have the wave, is a bigger file but better quality. MP3 is a condensed file, and based on the what you call it the KBP
Yeah, yeah.
320 190 192 etc. It's different sounds you get out of it. All right,
Yeah,
fair enough
yeah.
with the skins. Hold on.
So
All right, continue before me ask the next question. Continue.
no, ask the other question.
I was gonna ask you how after you put the you do the varnishing and you put on the skin, how long do you put it down? Do you put any like it I say like what do I call it now, Flavius? You know, like you'd
What's
buff
that?
the skin, put a coat, like say that put some oil or whatever on it, so that it make it,
Varnish or
yeah, so it
something
make
like
it tighter or whatever. Do you do that?
No, they actually fix it so they can. There are some screws at the side, to tension the skin.
Okay, you do that on your drums, Rodney? Put screws to tension?
No,
No.
no. Our drums is different. Our drums, we fold the skin with the bottom ring.
Mm-hmm.
So and then the ring is fit exactly as the diagonal shape at the top. So when you put on the skin
Mm-hmm.
and then you drop the ring, you're gonna be exact, no breeze in between. You're gonna be
Okay.
set. Right?
Oh, Rodney. That's a lot of work right there, somebody I talk about. Because but you say with the chainsaw now that you have now it can make you cut out 8 drums in one day.
But I'm saying do 8 drums a day.
Yeah, him say make him cut out 8 drums in one day. So is a faster production going on now.
Yeah.
So tell our viewers and listeners who are viewing and listening right now how to contact you for drums, especially those in Jamaica and other part of the Caribbean who would love to get one of your drums or purchase drums from you. Give them your information.
Yeah, well, you can contact me at ligarawong@gmail.com. Ligarawong is LIGARAWN@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Okay, at
And
gmail.com.
yeah. And my number here in Belize is our code is 502
Mm-hmm.
602 2596. That is my number here in Belize.
Mm-hmm. So that's the era code of 502 602 2596 to contact
Yes,
Rodney.
sir.
All right. Well, we're going to put this out for you. And when you're forward, as I said, with the video the next couple of weeks, because this is a new segment we're doing, a 15 minutes, preview of a guest to come. And you're the first to really start it off. And we welcome that. And let us know what else we can do for you so we can, let it reach out to the Maroons, them in Jamaica, and all over to all the indigenous, people, so that them can start contact you.
And to boost up the conversation, I will send you my music, because actually I'm a paranda writer, right? And I write paranda songs. Paranda in your culture is reggae.
All right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Our reggae is paranda. Your reggae is reggae.
So Rodney, man, come on, Rodney. Well, we know you're forward again. So when you're forward, you have to come with the music, and you have to come with the jump section, and you shake on your video. That means you're going to do a performance for us as well.
All right.
All right. So
no problem.
Just before you leave, just give us a little spin off of how you said the paranga.
Yeah, the paranda.
Paranda or paranga? Which one? Paranda.
Yeah, Paranda.
All right, paranda. Okay. So the paranda is like reggae. Let me hear what it sounds before you leave.
Okay.
All right, Rodney. So, Rodney, thank you very much this morning.
No problem, sir.
And
thank you, too.
I remember, send us the video and the rest of booster so we can start put them together, especially to advertise you for people who want to purchase your drums. And I think if they seeing the video, if they are seeing the video, they will purchase quicker than you expect.
All right. I will just
say what you want to say. Say what you want to say.
Actually, I will get on my homework because the faster the better. So in this week, I have 2 lags at my house that are gonna be starting building the drums. So yeah, we're gonna set right in my position. So I'm gonna video and do my performance and make everybody know about Garifuna drums and how we play it, and I'm gonna make a video when I'm playing the drums and the shakers so they can hear and see what Garifuna drums look like.
Absolutely, Randy. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So take care of yourself and heal up the family and friends and members of the Garifuna Nation this morning. And stay safe, my brother. Stay safe.
Yeah, and thank you guys, and thank Jamaica for listening, and love you guys. One love.
One love, my brother. One love always.
Walking on sand and holding your hand. Feel like a tourist in my own homeland, in my own homeland. Enjoying the bright, the warm sunlight. Oh my God, what a beautiful sight, in my own homeland. This place is so nice, wanna do everything twice. Yes, I feel as if I'm in a paradise. No matter the season, you've got every reason. This place is another little heaven. East or west, I couldn't care less. Ooh, this place, it is definitely blessed. My own homeland. North or south, feel free to wander about. You can jump, dance, or sing and shout in my own homeland. Give yourself a treat, a few days or a week, and you will see just what I mean. Just take my advice, everyone is nice. You feel like royalty, my friend. pulsating, vibrating, reggae, reggae, reggae. Very sky, rock, a steady mental, a quadrillion, a coming, coming. You can fill your belly with a coconut jelly, mango, papa, cane and guinea. There's ackee and a saltfish and a roast yam and banana. Curry.
Every Monday at this time, we give you the really current coming out of Jamaica, the Caribbean, and around the world. And none other than Teddy Laidley, the man in the seat this morning, once again. Top of the morning, Teddy. Top of the morning, Teddy.
I'm holding your hand. Feel like a tourist in my own homeland. In my own homeland. Feel like a tourist in my own homeland. A homeland, my own homeland. Feel like a tourist in my own homeland. My own homeland.
The sweetest loving ever come my way. Do anything, anything I say. When he loves me this way, the only thing I say is, oh mama, mama, keep on loving me so bad boy. Oh mama, mama, keep on loving me so bad boy. You got bad boy in it, so wonderful. You got bad boy in it, so wonderful. Oh boy, so wonderful. All I can say is, oh mama, mama, keep on loving me so bad boy. Oh mama, mama, keep on loving me so bad boy. Hit me with it, tone, 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 dee tone a break. Man, you better run, come, 'cause I need a fix. Man, you better run. Oh mama, mama, oh mama, mama, keep on loving me so bad boy. I met a boy the other day, got the sweetest loving ever come my way. Do anything, anything I say. When he loves me this way, the only thing I say is, oh mama, mama, keep on loving me so bad boy. Oh mama, mama, keep on loving me so bad boy. You got bad boy in it, so wonderful. You got bad boy in it, so wonderful. Oh boy, so wonderful. All I can say is, oh mama, mama, keep on loving me so bad boy. Oh mama, mama, keep on loving me so bad boy. Hit me with it, tone, 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 dee tone a break. Man, you better run, come, 'cause I need a fix. Man, you better run, come, 'cause I need a fix.
Yes, we have Teddy with us again this morning with a really current out of Jamaica, the Caribbean, and around the world. Top of the morning, Teddy.
Yeah.
Top of the morning.
Yeah, top of the morning to the listeners, and working here with technology, as I said. Technology is like fire. Doesn't have to heat you to burn you, nor love you to cook for you. Yeah, but we want to start out this morning in pleasantry. We don't want to start out on negative vibes and complaining at all times. We just want to send out our congratulations to the estate of our, although he's gone, but still beloved father of reggae, Tootsie Bird, who won the Grammy last night for his album Got to Get Tough. And this in itself is his sixth nomination and his second win first one was 2004, and posthumously he have given the title of Grammy winner in 2021. And again, Jamaica, shineth in the world. And in my opinion, it's, yes, no other better person. And not that the nominees this year with Maxi Priest, Skip Marley, Toots, the lineup is not bad, but I think you will pay homage to a gentleman that I think the other nominees is willing to step aside and say, let us give it to one of the column there is. So nobody supposed to say not deserving.
True.
And on another note, they have a saying that we little but we talawa. The size of Jamaica compared to other countries is like a little dot. I remember years ago in Canada, somebody asked me where I'm from. I said Jamaica, and he said, "Where is that?" He said, "Show me on the world map." And we went up on the map, and I point out where Jamaica is. And his remark, "You mean that little dot?"
Yes.
And I said, "Yes." He said, "That right there?" Because he was hoping to see a large country, of certain magnitude. And he said, how can that little dot have such influence on the world? And so the saying goes, we little but with talawa.
Yeah, man.
And in, I would say, in September 20, as a matter of fact, to be precise, September 15, 2017, the oldest woman in the world, Violet Moss Brown, she died at 117 years of age.
Wow.
And she became the first, the oldest. Now, here the other side of that, her son was 96, right? Was the oldest person in the world to have appearance still alive.
So that's another Guinness Book of Record.
And that, do you understand?
And last week you mentioned something about a police woman, the first woman police in Britain, Jamaica.
And would you believe it? I went home and I strolled through. Hold on. Now that you mention it, no, now that you mention it, I think I have it here. Yeah, but while I'm strolling through, just so Jamaica has certainly made an impact on the world internationally. So I sound distracted because I'm looking for the article of that lady, right? But we have done well for our side. So they are planning to do a monument for this lady. She's from Trelawney on the western side of Jamaica. And so the situation is that the municipal council is also planning to do name the road that she lived on again to give support for her.
That's good. So that is good.
Yeah. We in Jamaica, like I said, if it's in the red, Jamaica is, and we have done well internationally in more areas than one. I somewhat, oh my God, I can't believe I can put my hand on that lady who I just said she was the first black person to enter the police force in London.
Mm-hmm.
And funny enough that to her, in Jamaica and saying Anna nothing,
Yeah.
with those guys look for a job. You know that kind of way.
Yes.
So
I was
we,
reading the
but
article. I was reading the article after you mentioned it last week. And she
yeah,
just wanted to work at the time. She just wanted to work.
yes, exactly, exactly,
She never let that
exactly.
turn out to be like this. She just wanted to work. And boom.
Yeah,
Accomplished
and here it is. Yeah, she, as Riley said, she just wanted to go and get a job to take care of herself, and they, those were some serious time
Mm-hmm.
in London during the whole Windrush and all of that, and she didn't know that she was going to become part of history,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And they just accepted her and all of that, and they themselves didn't even know. Just said, okay, fine, you want a job, here it is. But it opened and inspired hundreds of other person that followed through. It's just like Barbara Blake Anna.
Mm-hmm.
At the time when she was the first black TV presenter.
Okay.
Again, recently the BBC in London just honor her. They had an interview and they're doing a documentary of her life, and she can really tell you some of the story that she have gone through in terms of prejudice.
Mm-hmm.
There was a time that I can't recall the gentleman's name, that he was to come into the station to be interviewed, and they sent they sent on another assignment because of his attitude and behavior towards racism. You understand? So they didn't even want her to be present. It's amazing what we have gone through as a people and as a race, and still struggling today, years after. But I just wanted to say this morning, as we made mention of congratulating Tootsie Bird, who have made a tremendous. I had the opportunity to be on tour with him in 2013, and I saw the impact. Nobody had to tell me that. I was touring as his tour manager. He asked me to come on the road with him. As I mentioned many times, that was just a month after we just completed the tour. He did an acoustic tour, and that was when he was hit with the bottle. And I can tell you something.
I remember.
Yes,
that.
I can tell you this, that his audience that I have seen over that month when we were on the road. Gosh. I keep on telling people, the people of my you was on stage. It was all Caucasian in the audience, and they know the song word for word.
Mm-hmm.
That was the real interested part about it. We started the tour in LA. We all left Jamaica, fly to Miami, fly from Miami to LA, and then join the bus there, and they take us right across.
Just going across country
Yeah,
from John.
yeah.
Okay.
We started out at we hold on. We started out. You hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we started out in LA and ended in New York.
Okay.
Oh, come here.
And the incident took place in where? Virginia, right?
Yeah, but we started out. Yeah, it was an interesting tour. Let me say that to you, because as you know, Willie Nelson was one of the person that again introduced him to our audience.
Okay.
You know, Willie was doing the farm here to help a lot of persons,
Yes.
farmers. So he and Willie Nelson become good friends. And so that in itself introduced him to our audience that he would never been introduced to, and more people learn of his work. So in itself, I'm glad that the country did give him recognition and give him honors.
Mm-hmm.
And again, today, as I said, we are happy to know that he got the coveted, his second coveted. He's no longer here, but the important thing is that his work certainly live on.
Good to know, man.
He just to know that his album, he just released it, and he never get a chance to tour it, because that would have been such a plus, and I was looking forward to at least continue to work with him.
And the title of the album is what? Get Tougher or Get Tough?
Yeah, Get Tough.
Get Tough, okay.
Right.
Got to be tough.
To be tough. Got to be tough. Right. Got to be tough. And he certainly was. He certainly was. Going through we call it over 50 decades of music and still relevant, because that is what is important. When you can do your work and it crosses generation after generation, and person recognize and want to be a part of your work and want to do collaboration with you, that speaks volume.
I miss out big on getting a chat session with Toots and Bunny Lee, for the simple reason both of them have their different story of how the name reggae came about. So I wanted to have a session with them separately. But unfortunately I missed it.
The interesting thing that we always said in life, don't take people for granted. I had the fortune because Bunny Lee live in the adjoining community in where I live.
Yeah.
And we spend many hours chatting, and he giving me the history. And then you just take it for granted that they're going to be there forever.
Yeah.
And you never thought, the thought never come, because let me tell you something, the many conversation that started out with Bunny Lee, it is not really planned. It's a situation where I can tell you, Bunny would have been passing and him say, Emma, come check me. Just like that. Him say, well, I'm Teddy, and come check me. And out of that check, we're talking, and he just started to talk a different aspect. So it was never a situation where you would have get a chance to record the conversation. And the same thing with Toots. We sit on the tour bus, and you're there chatting, because the thing for me with Toots is that Toots again, and I grew up in a community in which he was living out in Rockford, and his son and I were very, very close. Hope John. So the thing is that I used to be over him house over in Winard Way.
Okay.
And he would have come into the house, called to us, and go about his business, because Marky, we were teenagers and we were his son's friends. So there wasn't any form of saying sitting down and chat with us. And one of the greatest pleasure is to know that I grew up and end up working with this man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who would have told me at that time when I was in his house that I would have one day, grow up to work with him? Because he wouldn't even know that. He didn't even recognize that. And it was after the world tour, we had a dinner, for all the band members and close friends. And when I was given a chance to talk, I tell him, and Opton was there, and he looked at Opton, I say, yes, and I remind him of certain incidents. So it was a great pleasure to know. It's just like, for example, I tell persons, I meet the Wailers all three members separately.
Yeah.
And fortunate enough for me, I get a chance to be on the road with Bunny Wailer.
Uh-huh.
But when I first met Bob, I didn't even know that Bob is going to head to stardom, because what ended up happening in my case, my sister had a relationship with Winston Matthew, who they call Bread from Wailing Soul.
Yeah.
Now, Wailing Soul, as you know, were earth in Trenchtown, just the same thing. And so Winston used to have an acoustic guitar that he played, and he would be around the house playing it outside and all of that. And then sometime then he would have said that they're going around by where Bob and Peter and all of that, because, it was in the same vicinity. So I would walk with him. He'd have carried me with him.
Okay.
Now, the boastful part about it was to have the walk with the guitar. You know what I mean? You would have carried. You know what I mean? And although the guitar and me was almost the same size.
A big guitar.
You understand?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So we go around there and we see them rehearsing, Bob and Peter and everybody. But to us, we were teenagers. Because Bob is like about 14 years older than me. So maybe when I was 12, he was in his early 20s. You understand? So he didn't, and this was, we are talking about the late 60s, early 70s, because at the time I was going primary school. And so to me, it wasn't anything. It wasn't anything. Bob, them, those days, them send you a shop as a little boy and all of that. And you go and you buy the stuff and you carry back and all of that.
And you get the change.
And the
change if he's a regular.
Yeah. Yes, that's yeah.
A regular, you get the change.
Mm-hmm. So that's the tiller. I'm on the phone. Yeah. So and then now the situation with myself and Peter Tosh. Peter Tosh, as you know, he had a relationship with Marlene Brown.
Okay.
Right. Now Marlene and her sister Virginia and I were classmates.
Okay.
And at the time, like I said, I was living in Rockfort and I was living on Lucas Road. And Marlene and her sister and their sisters were living on Oliver Road. Yeah. So Peter used to come all the time and I was looking for Marlene. But in those days, they couldn't go in the house. I was out in the car, because of the parent. Come on, we know all the things.
I did my dreadlocks.
So when
there
you go. So when Peter was coming up Oliver Road, us as guys would have sitting and call to him, and then, he would have come out and reason with us on the corner. So we never even, we know he was Peter Tosh, yes, the reggae singer and all of that, but again, like we are talking about in the 70s, you know what I mean? This was like 74, this was when we were going to school, 77, around that time, because he think that just it started. Sunsplash.
Okay.
76.
Yes.
Right. So he was coming there and all. So the situation that presented itself, that Peter and I and the guys on the corner would talk and all of that, and he would have talked to us about the whole Black Power thing and get our attention. And so you saw the consciousness from that early with listening to a Peter Tosh. And the reasoning kind of motivated you and inspired you. So that was my connection with Bob, Peter, and Bunny now. I was introduced to Bunny because of Copeland Forbes.
Okay.
You know Bunny Whalers as, yes, the Bunny Whalers and all of that. But it was Copeland Forbes who was doing tour and all of that, and I was Copeland Forbes assistant and all of that. So he get a chance to do the paperwork and intimately knowing Bunny, because then when you're doing the visa application, you're going to ask certain questions and all of that. So certain questions that you would know and find out that the average person wouldn't know. And so that's how comes I get a chance to be on the road with Bonnie, because Copeland at the time was booking like Bonnie, Marcia, John Holt, Gregory Isaac, the who is who, Copeland was the person. So it was a great honor again to be working and being Copeland right hand, left hand. So that's how comes I end up in the music. It's funny. I tell person that I was drawn to entertainment rather than I go to it. It come to me because I was in corporate Jamaica, public relation and marketing manager for a company, and we used to do events and so forth. And I remember at the time I was doing Heineken Star Time series. With Michael Barnett and Keith Brown. And we did a show. Marcia was on the show, and it was at Versailles Hotel in Maypen. And Copeland just looked at me one day, and we were there. I said he was looking a road manager for Luciano to go on the road with him on a tour. And he said, "Look, I want you to be this." And I just casually said, "Yeah, no problem. When you're ready, call me." Just like that, because to be honest with you, Frank, I wasn't saying, well, impressed or whatever. I just say, yeah, it's yes, sir. Just like the lady who were looking at jobs.
She just want a job, and it turned out to be more than a job years after.
There you go. Right, and so the same thing happened to me. Then he called me, and then we started to go on the road. But before that, I met Copeland because, again, of my capacity in working with that company. You know what I mean? So I know prior to him asking me to come on the road, we have done work together. So I think was out of that, that's why he called me. So one of the things that I really, what amazes me, Franco, was I grew up listening to Alton Ellis, John Holt, Ken Booth, and all of those people, and I end up working with them. And, Prince Buster.
Copeland used to manage John Holt too as well, right?
Yes, right, that's correct. And the funny thing about it is, like, I couldn't believe that I'm working with Prince Buster. I've been on the road in Europe with him. These are people who I grew up listening to as a child. And if anybody tell me that I was going to work with him, that's Alton Ellis. If you did mention my name to Alton Ellis, he knows me. The same thing with Prince Buster, the same thing with John Holt, the same thing with Gregory Isaac, the same thing with Ken Booth. These persons know me on that level. Not just one of their fans. They know me. If I pick up the phone and I call, them say, "Yes, boss, where I say now?" That was the kind of thing. They, the respect that they show for me and I show for them. Franco, it was amazing. Yeah. When other people have difficulty with some of these artists and say, "Boy, I'm not doing it," and I call them and I say, "Look, I'm involved with this," or "Come and check me." It was never a situation that, "Oh, I'll come check Teddy." You understand? If I call John Holt and I say, "Look, I'm a promoter, want this to be done. You want this voiceover to be done, or you to do a drops for him," he just said to me, "Anything you say, Teddy. Anything you say. Are you the boss?"
True.
You know me? So, the thing about it, I never end up having what you call photograph and hanging out with them. Although I hang out with them, go at their houses and all of that, and be, it wasn't like my memory is etched with them. It's not the photograph to impress people to say, "Yes, here's a photo of me and Alton and all of that." My memories with them is working with them and getting things done. When we did the Heineken Star Time series, it was a pleasure, just having these guys work on stage when I can say, "Look, Alton, your time now," and say, "Anything you say, boss."
What was the cause of that Heineken thing for ended?
All right. What was happening? We put it this way. All of the people that were have been keeping the show alive or dying out. Trust
Okay.
me. The thing about it, Franco, there's some people who we call show people.
Mm-hmm.
We had Dennis Brown, Alton Ellis, John Holt, Gregory Isaac. You know what I mean? These people, Ura, these people were what we call show people.
Mm-hmm.
Once these people are on the show, no matter how many times persons come and see them, is a sure thing.
They're coming back again.
They're coming back, because of the demographic, is because of the people who are coming to the shows. You understand? They are very nostalgic.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then now they were bringing in a new audience, because I can tell you something. I have been at the show and hear a young generation said, they never did. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because they grew up hearing the music. Can remember, it's like my daughter would have grown up. It's like once my daughter was playing a song in the house with Lauren Hill.
Mm-hmm.
That song that she and Killing Me. No,
And the
I think it was
Fuji,
Killing
one
Me
was the
Softly.
Fuji, did?
Yes, right. Roberta Flack song. And my daughter was there excited. Daddy, listen to this song. I said, oh, that's a cover song. No, Daddy, this is a new song by and I said, okay, fine. So I went into my bedroom because she had the radio playing with the song, and I went into my bedroom, and then I found the Roberta Flack original and put it on the turntable. Because them the days it was no CD, and I put it on the turntable, and I started playing it. And she was like, what is the same song? I said, that's the same thing I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
True, man.
So when, you kind of meet with, I've met Roberta Flack, I met Patti LaBelle because of the Jamaica Jazz, Lionel Richie.
Mm-hmm.
There was a group I was listening to from the 70s. The Tina Brothers. Oh my God. I think the Merrymen.
Oh,
That
Merrymen.
was the Merrymen. They came and they played at Jamaica Jazz, and it's only the older Jamaicans know this group because the early Calypso. So Corner, there was a program on RJR called Calypso Corner that the Merrymen, songs used to play on. So it was a great pleasure when I met the Merrymen at the Jamaica Jazz, So being involved in entertainment, I wasn't one of them that grab photo opportunity every time. Yes, Barbados, right. And so I was really happy to know that over the years, music have taken me global to so many places that I pinched myself. I didn't even know. If I was still in corporate Jamaica, I could only been exposed to New York, Canada, and England, where the diaspora is. But I've been to places that I remember going to Austria. And when we were driving in the tour bus, we did not see no, you're used to seeing posters and things on the street. Because, it's a culture thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, if a show go by and you see the poster them around or the billboard, you say, yes, there's a presence in the air. So, the people coming up. So, in Austria, the tour bus driving town, and we didn't see nothing highlighting the show. So we go straight to a hotel, then we did sound check. And as the road manager, you say to yourself, I want to show you how to flap. Because, see no evidence of anything we are in town. And I tell you, the night at the show, the place was rammed. When I talk about rammed, it wasn't the time of you talk about internet,
Mm-hmm.
You understand? It wasn't the time we were talking about the early 2000s. So internet didn't influence like how it does today in terms of you doing an event. And those are some of the stories that I have been on tour and working with Bunny, working with Toots, working with Alton Ellis, Ken Boob, Marcia Griffiths, Judith. Last year last year, February, it was a pleasure for me doing Bob Marley month that I accompanied Judy Mowat to Toronto, because they wanted to do something in contribute to Bob Marley in Toronto
Okay.
and Montreal, and they asked me, and I booked Judy Mowat for them. So that was my last time traveling last year, and it was excited to know that Judith and I were on the same flight. It was so good in the sense here that you go to her room, tell her what time show time is. She call you, say, Teddy, is everything all right? This was not like you hear about it. This is pick up the phone and call, and Judy said, "Boy, Teddy, we're on the flight, and and the flight kind of bumpy, and she looked at me and me look at her, that kind of thing." So, it's a pleasure working with Judy. And again, just flying with Judy was not the first time. We have been working in the 80s together. So it's one of those kind of things that now that I look back and see it, I said, damn, I work with some fine persons in the business, but I didn't know. I didn't know, Franco, that I would be coming to working with these people. Never know that at all. It wasn't on my radar.
Sure,
it was not on my radar.
Sometimes the path that we tread, sometimes the paths that we tread to take us on some journey. That when you complete it or you surpass that, you said to yourself, I never know what I reach here, so because that wasn't in your plan.
Yeah. It's just like
but
I am
Teddy,
now
Teddy,
making a yes.
Teddy, you
I'm
can
here
tell
in
me
the
about the
flavor.
time when. Yeah, you can tell me the time when you became the mayor of Toronto.
The ceremonial. No, they had a what you call it, like a Jamaica a Caribbean day,
Caribbean Day
in Toronto, and then it was again Denise Jones. She no longer with us. Jones and Jones Production, and what they did was to the funny thing about it, Franco, is that Denise asked me. She just come with a cape, and as a matter of fact, I was sending you that picture. I didn't even know players remember that. She sent me. She gave me the cape and put on the sash. To represent Jamaica. But the interesting thing, Franco, was because I was so much knowledgeable about my country. It fit like a glove. I stood there and I could give history and could give dates about Jamaica and everything, and persons were impressed. When other people were struggling, I wasn't struggling because history and social study was one of my two favorites in school. And I had a chance of meeting the first female mayor of Toronto. I had a picture.
So you was mayor. You were given honorary mayor.
It was a ceremonial thing. It was a ceremonial. Please, ceremonial.
So you get the key of the city, man. They give you the key of the city.
No. It never ever go that far. But the fact is that we all the Caribbean people who then represent their country as mayor took a picture with the mayor of Toronto.
Okay.
So it was interesting. My God, I just say sometimes some things happen to you unexpectedly, and you take it on, and you didn't even know what would be the outcome. It's like I just said Toronto. I remember Snow, this Canadian who was charged for murder, that was behind bars, and fortunately his song took off. And Snow in the 80s was one of the top acts to follow. And I see, Snow come to Jamaica, he come by and come check me and all of that, and it was like, whoa. You didn't even, just sitting there watching television. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, just sitting there watching television, seeing this guy on television making an impact on using reggae and DJ and all of that, and you didn't even know that you're going to meet him because it's like no way, what I mean? No way. What are the chances? And it just happened. It just happened.
You and I went down some similar pathway. I go down some similar pathway, but yours is more greater than mine because you get to work with
No, no,
many
no.
of these artists. Yes, you get to work with many.
No,
of them.
no, no, no.
I only work with them in studio, like Prince Buster, for one.
Yeah.
Work with him in studio. Screwdriver, another. The
Yeah,
other day we talk about Billy Mystic from the Mystic Revealers.
Yeah, man, Billy. Yeah, Billy. Yeah, right.
My friend, driver man.
And John Walter, work with him also in studio. And the famous Carl Peterson,
yeah,
who used to work engineer with Bob Marley and work on the Exodus album.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. The fun thing about it, like I said, the fun thing about it, many things just happen but you didn't even plan it because, like I said, when I was among Bob Marley to my then brother-in-law, Winter Matthew, they call him Bread from Wheeling Soul, I didn't even, the moment, rehearsal didn't mean anything to me. As a teenager, as a little, teenager. Seeing Bob, seeing Peter, Bunny, and they rehearsing, and Winston, was doing his thing with a group because one group finished, the next one start, and as far as me concerned, at the time, me don't grab me on some feet and I go home and that's the other thing. You never the impact of the music and you were there when it all started. It didn't, and to be honest with you, I don't think Bob and Peter and Bunny and Pipe and all of them, they just have this thing that they wanted to sing. They didn't know the impact that is like a seed planted at that time that they weren't going to give to the world. They didn't know. I can tell you that personally. They didn't know. Because Winston Matthew was a mechanic and he was working at a garage near Bumper Hall out on Spanish Town Road near Mother White Bridge. And like I said, he was my brother-in-law, so when I used to go to school, I would have stopped by him and everything, and he would give me something for care for the house and that sort of thing. Because I wasn't living with my sister. I was living on Maxfield Avenue on Nelson Road, and I used to go to Ramsey Road at one of them and then go over my sister because she was my eldest sister.
Anything from Maxfield can drop you over Waltham Park side.
Yeah, and over Trenchtown.
Yeah.
So the point is that I used to just leave and go over my sister because when you go over your sister now, you can't do anything. This is not the regiment of your mother. So you eat where you want, you ramp and play, and even if you remember now, there was no telephone in them days where you go call your mother and say you have to stay over your sister. If I don't come home, my mom know that I'm over there.
Yeah.
That's all I think. And you didn't mind staying over there, especially on weekends.
True.
As long as you finish do what you have to do at your house, then you can go over and spend time there. So at that time, when I used to even go down a Channel 1 and hang out, and that time you had Johnny Clark, and because Johnny Clark and Harrison, they were the two then rivals in those days, and the Mighty Diamond them down there and all of that. To me, you just go on a Channel 1 as a little youth, everything, because you follow Pipe go down there, because that's what them said, Indian Pipe, and then it was Pipe and Bread, who are still now today members of the Wailing Soul. So Pipe, Winston Matthew, right, Winston Matthew was my sister boyfriend at the time. Winston Matthew, them call him Pipe. So when Pipe did go by Channel 1, and you go with him, because, I didn't tell you, Hear the trick about it, Franco, that I didn't realize. That my sister insists that anywhere Piper go, must go with him. As a little watchman.
Yeah.
You understand?
And you never,
When she come back, she asked me.
you never know that though.
I didn't even know. I didn't exactly. Do you understand what I'm saying? So she come back and say, where your pipe go? And who did it? Not even cognizant of she was questioning me. If him see any girl or whatever, or where him take me. You know what I mean? So he never mind with me and him either tell me say, nobody say nothing to Nama, you know. You know, and whatever. I mean, me not say not loyalty. So I was between the two of them. She didn't mind if I'm not going away. Make Teddy go on with you. Go on with him, Teddy. You understand? So I was there.
A young detective.
Yeah. So I used to be up and down with pipe and all of that, and so this is when I meet other artists. But it never made no impact on me. It never, to be honest, it didn't. You know these people because you see them.
I'm telling you, Teddy, all of this what you're talking is like it's like you tell me about me. I relive your life coming up in the business too as well, because funny enough, the first time I met Toots was at Rosalie and him come look for my auntie because my cousin was supposed to do some work for him, and he had this Morris. Remember the Morris car? Them with them used to have a look like taxi back then in the days.
Yeah, man. The Mars, and the big headlamp with the little lift over it.
He was driving that, so we knew who Toots was at the time because he would already do Bam Bam and all of them things, But never expect to see him coming at the yard. And then at Bond Street, you have the big studio, Treasure Isle. Always see the men them hang out at Treasure Isle. Never know so they were musicians and artists and all them things.
Yeah.
Is when we start the secondary school now, we get to find out that these were musician artists, Horace Andy, the whole of them, Errol Dunkley, Uri, big time artists, Delroy Wilson, Alton Ellis, John Holt, but we never know they were artists. Because we never know them. Only person I did know at the time was Toots and Errol Dunkley. Because Errol Dunkley used to stay off of North Street and Milk Lane. So we used to see him. And Ken Boyd like Wellington Street too at the time. So we didn't know them, the artists there.
Well, the funny thing about it now, check this out. Lone Ranger and I was close friends because we attended school together. Lone Ranger, Welton Irie, Glenn, Sigree, all of us. So anytime Ranger have a show, that time I can't remember the sound right at that. So we used to go. So again, run by Randy's, run a parade. We used up and down with Ranger, the Gemini Club, Sassafras, and all of these people. But to me, like I said, it never mean up because I wasn't going into entertainment.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So when Ranger had got dance, and when he reached at the gate, him say, yeah, and the man will come with me, and you come in at the dance, and that was it. Right?
True.
So again, you meet. So I was able to meet the DJ them at the time during those periods, right? And I get a chance to meet the earlier artists through pipe. But again, to me, it is like years after, take for example Louis Culture and I used to grow up downtown together. That time Louis never ever make it, but you know him. You know what I mean? I was seen to them. Louis Culture and all that. And so these guys, but on a different Herbie, who played one of my greatest feelings was when I saw Herbie Harris, who played the keyboard in the band Koch and Third World. Right? When I saw him, I was at home in Canada and watching the Arsenio Hall show, and that time Master Priest and Shabba.
Yes.
And that was the band that was touring. And when I saw on television, I saw Herbie playing keyboard, the camera come upon him. I felt good because that was my.
Come forward, Teddy. Come forward. Seems like we lose Teddy right there. So no.
Mm.
He been hearing us. We can't hear him. Technology again at its best. I would just I come down, just I come down
Yeah.
and it just stop on us. So let's see if we can get back Teddy before we conclude this morning show. So we're gonna try link up Teddy. Yes, we try to reach back Teddy. Unfortunately, no connection. So we're gonna end on that note. I wanted us to run our new piece on Teddy this morning, but I guess I'm gonna have to do it with you, Flavius, and then we can wrap up. And Flavius, don't tell me you gone too as well. Well, I guess it's me alone. So with that, we come once again to another segment of the Real Stuff Podcast. And we ask you to join us tomorrow when we do it all over again.
What?
Oh, you're here. Want to let you know that our new time changes.
Sir.
We have a new time change. And it's 11 a.m. to 12 noon. Daylight saving time, and Eastern Standard Time, that would be 10 to 11. 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Are you with me, Flavius?
Yeah, yeah. But I'm right here.
All right, just round it up in 30 seconds and we get out of here. Come talk to me, sir. Can't left no open here.
Yes, I'm right here. Very good morning on the Real Stuff Podcast.
Go ahead, continue.
Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah, man, you go ahead.
Are you hearing me?
Go ahead.
Hello? Yeah, there was something there.
Okay, finish up. Continue.
Yeah, today we are come to another end of another Real Stuff Podcast. And I thoroughly enjoyed this morning. I hope you did too. Drop us a line, go subscribe and go in the chat room so we can communicate even better. Or leave comments on the YouTube channel, what you think of what we are doing. Very important, because this is your show. This is your Caribbean show. So we want to hear from you so we can tweak it here or tweak it there to make it better for all of us. So we thank you again for listening, and we'll be back again tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Franco.
So I've always take care of yourself, your loved one. Remember, prayer changes things regardless what religion you belong to. Continue to pray and keep on praying. And love your neighbor as yourself. Tafina, to take us out.
Well, unfortunately, this is it. Till next time. Bless.
All you gotta do is just speak. One word is enough, and I'm no longer so rough. I forget what I was trying to say. I no longer do what I was gonna do, but you're no good for me. That's why me know what set me if it could flee. Me I fi take away me say. Me I fi take away me say. Me I fi hide like a thief in the night. Me I fi get out of sight. Me I fi take away myself. I fi take away myself. I have to utilize I wings. Surely I cleave her eyes. I said, yeah. I find you very hard to resist. But this
Well, unfortunately, this is it. Till next time. Bless.
how can I face you when all I wanna do is just taste you? I know you think I play me, but soon you're gonna see the light of day. Just relax, don't move an inch. I'll be gone in a pinch. May I feel take away myself. May I feel take away myself. May I feel hide like a thief in the night. May I forget out of sight. May I feel take away myself. Take away myself. I have to utilize I will. Surely I a clean pair of heels. I say,
Well, unfortunately, this is it. Till next time. Bless.
Guess who won't play?